Hey guys, what's up? This is Cody Brockway back with another episode of what was formerly known as CB's Fun with Vinyl. Yeah, but going forward from now, I've actually changed the name of the channel to Brockway's Vinyl Bytes. So to any newcomers or old viewers, thank you for watching and welcome to the new rebranded channel, Brockway's Vinyl Bytes. Yeah. So to get into today's episode, we are doing my least favorite songs off of great albums. I've got a handful of albums here, and of course, there's probably some maybe that I missed. But regardless, my least favorite song might be your favorite song, and vice versa. See, because we all hear these albums differently, right? Everybody hears things differently. No two people experience the same experience the same. If you get what I'm saying. So leave your opinions in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys and see what you guys think about my choices and what would be your own choices for your least favorite songs off of your favorite great albums. So we're going to kick into it with a band I love very much. I love all of these bands, but I love this album too. It's Aerosmith Permanent Vacation record. And the song is The Movie. Now, this is a pretty solid album. You know, it's got lots of great 80s rock and roll on here. You know, Ragdoll, Do This Like a Lady. A couple of great deep cuts too, you know, like Hangman Jury, St. John, Hearts Done Time. But you end the album with The Movie. That instrumental track, it just, to me, it doesn't seem like it really goes anywhere. It kind of has a cool vibe, like that dunk 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 dunk, that riff that it does, but it doesn't really go anywhere from that. They could have. It's about a five or so minute track. They could have shortened it down to a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And I'm all for long songs. Y'all know that I'm a Yes fan, Genesis fan, Prog fan, all that. This, they could have done a lot better with that track. They could have evolved on the idea, maybe shortened the track up a bit. Otherwise, great record, but that song is, yeah, no. And kind of the same goes for this one. Van Halen 5150 is the last track on here is called Inside, and it's basically just like the band playing this sort of rhythm track and the band also just talking over the whole thing. Not a fan, particularly too much. Otherwise, this album rocks. Love this record. Best of both worlds. Why can't this be love? Good enough. Love Walks In. Love this record. That song, it's not a strong point, and I guess it's kind of supposed to be a throwaway track. I don't know, but maybe they could have ended it on the song 5150 or something a little better. Okay, you also know me as a big Grateful Dead fan, and most Grateful Dead fans, like anything that Grateful Dead does is just, you know, untouchable, blah, blah, blah. That's not me. They have a lot of great songs, okay? But every once in a while, they come out with something like Operator from an otherwise near perfect studio record. Absolutely fantastic songs on this. Box of Rain, Friend of the Devil, Sugar Magnolia, Candyman, and Operator. Never was a big fan. All respect to Pigpen. Was never a fan of that song. And, you know, Ripple, Broke Down Palace, Till the Morning Comes, Addicts of My Life, Truckin'. There is, other than Operator, there's not a skip track on this, and I only listen to Operator just to get through to Candyman, because that is an excellent song. Every song on this is so good, and Operator is the weak link for sure. Otherwise, classic record. And maybe, because you know I'm a big Genesis fan, that you might expect this one from me. Whodunit from Abacab. Again, I personally like every other track on this record. Maybe some of you are not big fans, or maybe you are a massive fan of this, and maybe you love Whodunit. That is great. I see what they were trying to do with Whodunit, but it just, you know, in between Dodo Lurker and Man on the Corner, maybe they could have put it at the end of side one or something, so you could just go over and take the needle off, or I don't know. But otherwise, fantastic record, and that is just, I get they were trying to have a little fun with the new wave thing that was happening in the 80s at the time, but it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's just, yeah, not a super big fan. It's probably my least favorite Genesis song. For probably a while ago, you could have said either this or Hold on My Heart, but I like Hold on My Heart way more than Who Done It. Yeah, so. Another one. I love Metallica. Could have done without the song Attitude. Again, I like this album. There's lots of great stuff on this album. It's not their best album, no, but it's got Fuel, Memory Remains, Devil's Dance, Unforgiven 2, Better Than You, Where the Wild Things Are, and they have Attitude on here. I just never was a big fan of that song, but to each their own. Maybe you love it, and let me know if you do. We're going to get to some honorable mentions here, because these songs typically aren't bad songs. But in the case of this first honorable mention here, I'm going to show you. Maybe it could have just been a bit shorter. It's 8.5 minutes. Or it's around the 8-minute mark, and it's really long. It's just really long for what it is. It's big McCartney fan. This is from his newest effort, from McCartney 3. This is a song called Deep, Deep Feeling. Not a bad song, but it just goes on, and then it stops, and then it goes into something else totally, which in essence could have been the whole song. So if you take the first 2 or 3 minutes of this, chop out everything from the 3-minute mark to the 6-minute mark, and keep the last 2 minutes with the first 2 or 3 minutes, you would have had an awesome 5-minute song. Yeah. Otherwise, this album's pretty decent. There's lots of good stuff on this, like The Kiss of Venus, When Winter Comes, which quickly became one of my favorite McCartney songs because it's like classic Paul with the acoustic guitar. Deep Down is it's okay. Pretty Boys. It's kind of a response to a track off the first album. Forgive me, but the name escapes me. Teddy Boy, I think it was called, from the first album. Anyway, lots of great stuff on this, but that Deep, Deep Feeling could have just been a couple minutes shorter for sure. And last but not least, in the honorable mentions section here, a lot of Tool fans will probably kill me for this. I'm a massive Tool fan. I worship a lot of their material. But as you're going to see, probably not all of it. This is probably my least favorite Tool song is Third Eye from Anima. The music is awesome in it. The drumming, guitar playing, bass, all that stuff's great. I think just some of the lyrics in it, with the drug references, I'm not really a drug kind of guy. That doesn't really matter, but the stuff like the desert buttons and all this stuff he's singing about, I'm not really there for that. I'm not really there, but I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to pay homage to their friend Bill Hicks, who had passed away a little bit prior to the release of this album. That's all great. The rest of the album is totally magnificent. Hooker with a Penis is awesome. Stinkfist, Eulogy. It's otherwise a classic album. But some of the lyrics in that song, I don't really vibe with personally for some of it. But the music is so intense that, just whatever the lyrics, the drumming and guitar is so kick-ass in that song that, as with all Tool songs, right? So, like, even their least best song is probably better than most other bands' greatest song. So, anyway, Tool, Third Eye, that's part of the honorable mention here. And last but not least, arguably a track that possibly never should have seen the light of day off of one of my all-time favorite albums. This album is tied as my personal, probably tied as my number one favorite album, along with another album by this band. Anyway, the song that we're talking about today is Revolution 9 by the Beatles. No. It's weird for the sake of being weird. It is so out of place here. It otherwise makes a great record. Like it doesn't tarnish the album for me, because especially because it's right at the end of the album. All that's after it is Good Night, and that's, it doesn't ruin the rest of the album for me. You could just take the needle off, and unless you're feeling extra kinky one night and you want to sit through the whole thing, then that's fine. But I could do without Revolution 9, as I know many of you could. So yeah, there's my list. Let me know what your least favorite songs are off of what you consider to be great albums. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, I look forward to reading comments and interacting with you guys in the comment section. So thanks for watching today, and we'll see you again soon. Rock on! Yeah!